Hi everyone and welcome to Module 4. I know that you've all been working really hard. We're getting to some fairly difficult kind of material, especially if you haven't worked in accounting at all before. Up until now, we've really concentrated on financial reports that are aimed at external users, shareholders. So that is the basis of financial accounting, which is what you did in Module 2. Increasingly, we're going to be looking at financial information that is really of interest and benefit to decision makers within the company. So we call this management accounting. There are two types of information that managers use for decision making, financial and non-financial. It's no surprise the bit that we're going to concentrate on is the financial decision making information. As managers, you will know very well what sort of other information that you need to bring into decision making. It's not all financial. It will be things like decisions, how it's going to affect your employees, how it's going to affect your long-term reputation of your organisation, relationships that you want to build up with suppliers and other people within your market. But what we want to do is to be able to create our own financial analysis so that in the light of all those other things that we might have to consider, at least we know what the numbers look like. Very often there's a lot of guessing that takes place on some very important decisions. So this is going to help you approach decision making with at least some concrete financial information to guide your decision making. Now, some of those things could be whether you want to make or buy a particular item. Financially, which one is the better decision. It might be that you've got a customer who wants an order, a very large order, and they want you to consider giving them a special price. Now, how low can you really go to get that work? There's a difference between your standard sort of pricing and pricing for a special order or pricing for a time when you don't have a lot of work around and you want to know, well, how low can I really come in with this bid? Another instance might be whether you're going to decide to sell a product as it is or further process it, add some more value and then sell it. Now, what do? Which one are you better off with doing? Processing it further, getting a higher price, or selling it as it is? So, and another one that's always coming up in no matter what business you're in, do I replace it or repair it when it comes to equipment? So we're going to look at those things, and that's all covered in a concept that we call incremental analysis. And in incremental analysis, we're looking at costs that are associated with one decision or another. We try to get rid of all the noise around it, get rid of all the things that are common to any of the decisions, to the outcomes, and concentrate on the things that are actually going to be different. So we isolate these things. I'm going to leave you to it now. Please go through all the slides, attempt all of the questions. I get a feeling that some of you aren't attempting all of the questions before you try to do your assignment. It might seem like a bit of a shortcut, but it isn't. The only way you learn accounting is by doing it. It's a bit like, how do you learn to be a football player or a netball player or a swimmer? You can study it so much, but then you actually got to get into the pool and start swimming and see what goes right, what goes wrong. Read your textbook. Read the chapter of your textbook. That gives you a lot of the background for what's required in all of this. And then once you've done all that, contribute to the discussion board. Have a read of what someone else has put up. Formulate something yourself and try to make an original contribution. You can support someone else's contribution. That's really good. I like to see at least a couple of postings for the discussion boards if you can. I know you can't always do that, but over the stretch of the trimester, I hope that you will do that. Now, I'll see you at the beginning of the next module. I try to give you really quick turnaround on your assignments. So enjoy this module, get as much out of it as you can. And by the way, even though I will only see you via video in this course, please, if you've got anything that you want to discuss with me, send me an email and what some people are doing now, and it seems to be working quite well, send me an email with your phone number and a bit of a time frame of when it's a good time for me to call you, and I'm more than happy to do that. We've got to keep you rolling along, and I don't want you to get bogged down with things. So I'll see you at the beginning of Module 5.